I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? I'm like this glazy
Well, it's
shit.
okay. You're back to about, if it makes you feel better, it's about 3 years ago, right? It's not even that like new or different or wonderful. So I'm going to address one thing real quick, and then we'll get to the conversation. So folks, this is episode 1013. So things have a
Ooh,
tendency to change.
13.
I'm
Woo!
not going to be, yeah,
Sorry.
1013. No, it's all good. What I wanted to say to the audience is, so the travel show is going to start integrating into the regular show. I have a lot of content there as well, from San Diego, from locally in town, and I'm going to be integrating both of it here and on my Patreon. I'm going to actually put the comment in there right now. If you want to support the Patreon for $5 a month, you're going to get yourself some advanced content for as the show moves more and more into the travel direction. Like, this is the way to go do it. This is the way to support the show going forward. Well in advance. As Jane struggles with the cameras a little bit somehow, some way, or maybe it's just my connection. Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Yes, I
So
can.
I was planning. So I'll tell you
Yeah.
what my plan was, to be on the road by now. That didn't quite. So that didn't quite work out. I got a hell of a consolation prize though. I got to go to San Diego Comic Con
Yeah.
as a professional.
Which is
Yeah, that
awesome.
was an amazing trip. Yeah, that's an amazing trip. So there's that. I ended up finishing a novel. It's in an agent's hands right now, as not just San Diego, but also Calgary. So I've been doing that, and I've been just slowly. I literally have a client essay this week. I'm basically conceptualizing a presentation for a book. So I literally got paid to do that. At this particular point in Junction, I'm looking at like, okay, so my plan is, I don't want to be here. I got to be in Calgary for another winter. That
Okay.
blows. But
It's a little cold.
it's a little cold. It's a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
But my goal is to be out and about. I want to be out here by spring. So there's two options, right? There's two options. The first is I can get myself another regular day job, at least for Christmas. I might do like a part-time gig for Christmas. Wouldn't kill me. But I also want to keep looking for work as a freelancer, because the thing is, this is the reality I've come to face and expect, is I'm going to be on the road. I gotta be like, I'm okay at getting work for myself, but I need to get better at getting work for myself, I think. So I think the right course is to keep doing what I'm doing, but also just amp up looking for work. And while I'm doing that, I'm just getting rid of things that I need to be getting rid of along the way as well. So that's kind of how it worked out. Like, it's not bad. I mean, I made my comic book debut. I got my first illustrated commission.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I accomplished a lot, but I didn't
Mhm.
accomplish everything I wanted to. And it's kind of like, and I'm kind of like, I'm happy / sad about that, but it is what it is. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like, I think I'm in a weird spot. I think I realized that the advertising thing is, I think the advertising is super important. It's the one thing
Yep.
I've learned, but I realized that a lot of creative people don't see the value in it. At least I haven't found enough of them to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, at least with me. Maybe
Yes.
I'm screwing up somehow, some way, but it's just like,
I don't know.
yeah, exactly. I don't know either. I mean, I mean, I've built a following. I've got some stuff going on. I don't know. I seem to be doing all right. I mean, people like my videos. It seems,
Yeah.
but but it's, and I'm still making money doing that. But yeah, so I mean, I gotta think of another. I think I'm still gonna keep it as it is there, but I don't know, like that concept of a big ticket item. I mean, it's worked wonders for like views and stuff. I don't know about
Mhm.
sales, but definitely views. I've gotten better at them too. But again, it's just one of those things where I'm just looking at it and going, well, no one seems to want it, or no one wants to pay for it, one or the other, I guess. So maybe
Yeah.
either I go higher, or I might just do is, fuck it. You know what? I'm just gonna charge $2,000. Just see what happens.
I mean, yeah, you go for the higher
Yeah.
pockets.
Well, you have to
I mean, you start reasonable. I mean, it's sort of the same thing that my daughter had in her business. She's a wedding planner, so she
yeah.
started. very reasonable. And now she's, one of the elite planners in New England.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
right?
so yes.
But that's just it, right? I'm looking at it. I don't know. Like I said, that's something I got to think of. Like, because what I'd like to do more of is, like, I'm making decent income doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm producing shows.
Yep.
That has been my regular work for the last year, most of it, and I'm good at it. I've done 5 shows actually, not including
Yeah.
my own. I've done 5, so it's kind of
Hmm.
like, so
I
I'm good at
remember
that.
those days.
Yeah.
That was many moons ago when I was in television. So,
Well, yeah, no, it's odd because it's a different thing now because I'm now turning down jobs that don't want to pay me, right? I literally
right.
got a gig. I got a gig to, it's like, I was looking at, I work, so my side gigs at Cal is in Calgary, right?
Uh-huh.
The Saddle Dome.
Yep.
So I have access to the junior teams as well as the regular hockey team.
Yep.
So I applied to be like a draft coverage of draft. They didn't want to pay a dime. I'm like, well, see ya.
Sorry.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's just where we're at. Like, I'm in this weird spot of, okay, I gotta keep looking for those long term gigs,
Yep.
and that's where I'm at. But again, I don't think I'm far away. Like again, I've been regularly in the 1,000 to 2,000 range the last year, like closer to the 2. So I'm closer
Hmm.
to that living wage.
Well, that's good.
Um, yeah, so I've been getting there. It's been how do I put this? It's an interesting journey of, like, okay, growth. Do I stick with what my guns? Do I expand? Like, what do I do now?
Hmm.
That's the spot I'm in right now.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I pivot? Should I, or do I just keep doing what I'm doing? I mean, the other thing I'm quietly noticing is there's definitely room for Kickstarter consultation, big time.
Hmm.
I mean,
That. Yeah.
I know a lot about it, and but again, finding people that really want to pay for that information is sometimes a challenge. But again, so that means big ticket campaigns.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic right now. So
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta kind of I gotta figure out where that fits. That's so, folks. You want to know what I'm up to? That's what I'm up to. How about you? How's your year been?
I'm good. When we got back from, the trip from hell in July, we gave our end date to the job, both of us. So
No,
April 1st, yes, April 1st is our last working day. They're like, this is a elaborate April Fool's joke, isn't it?
well,
We're both like, nope.
nope. You're done. That's it.
Yep, yep. April 1st, we are retiring. So
Can I beat you to the punch? I'm gonna try. I'm going to
what?
try because by next April, I mean, there might still be playoffs, but by next April, I want to be done.
Hmm.
Like, I
Yes.
don't I don't want to be like, and again, people go, well, why? It just doesn't fit. I mean, I think the most damning thing I can say is, I was in San Diego, ignoring the con, just ignoring the convention aspect of it for a
Yeah.
second. I got more human action in San Diego, California than I did in Calgary, Alberta. And I
Hmm.
don't, like, in a week almost as much as I would get here in a year. That's damning, actually. It's
Hmm.
like, wow. I mean, maybe it's just a Canadian thing. I don't know. But just like, I think it's time to go if that's the way it's gonna be.
Hmm. I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Right. So so now I just gotta get myself some more remote or long term gigs
yeah.
and get ready to go. But I mean, that's the other option as well. Like, I don't know. You're in my position. What do you think? What do you think? Am I on to something, or am I on something? What do you think?
I mean, the key is, and Vicky said this to us when we were talking to our friend about opening a brewery. She said, "You've got to get established and get your name out there, and you know, and have something special with that name that only you bring to the table." I mean,
Mm,
she, with her and her I mean, it's very much in the front of my mind because she did my son's wedding this past Thursday.
Yes.
So watching her deal with that, seeing her deal with issues.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, that's part of the deal, right?
You
When
know,
you
and
do
that,
this on your own.
yeah, my poor son got dehydrated, overheated, and had an acid reflux attack. So
Oh, lovely.
like an hour before the wedding ended. So
Oh wow.
so she went into crisis mode.
She's like, I'm gonna handle this.
Yep,
I'm gonna
yep.
handle this.
Keep the bride
No.
calm. You know, the father of the groom was with the groom.
Yeah, no, just make sure, like, was it
Yes.
nerves? Was it nerves with him?
No, it was he was exhausted, and he gets, I guess it with the acid reflux, it's like chest pains that just
Okay.
wipe you out when when you haven't had any water all day and gone golfing and just had
Okay, so he was
coffee
still
and just had coffee and a submarine sandwich with, meatballs, all of the things that, and then pizza for dinner. So yes, he just didn't think that, to hydrate.
no, it's all good.
Mind you, when I'm with the bride, I'm like, here, drink, 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 because I know these things, but the guys
Yes.
just figure they're gonna be fine.
Well,
At least he
yeah, of
didn't
course.
at least he didn't go down, on the floor or something. He saw the signs and went into the back room and just sort of collapsed in the bridal suite on the
Which
couch. Yeah.
which is, I'm glad he's okay, and
Yes.
congrats on your son, by the way, for a wedding. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I
But
mean that's
yeah, so her crisis management skills and being able to pivot are a couple of the things, and having the personal touch are the couple of things that set her apart from some of the other wedding
oh
planners.
no,
Um,
absolutely. Like, honestly, like the biggest thing I like right now on I've learned this is just a business thing. Customer service is at an all-time low right now.
mhm.
You can actually get all kinds of bonus points
Yep.
just being good at, you don't even have to, I
You
actually joked about this being, you don't have to just to
return
be
a
great.
call.
Yeah. Return a call. But even more than that, just be, you don't just show up and just be attentive. Honestly, I had, this isn't, I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But a buddy of mine I have coffee with semi regularly, he told me about a guy he hired for like some video game stuff, and the guy basically no showed, right? And
Mhm.
it was just like, and it's amazing to me how many people get like do that shit. It's just
Right.
like, right? It's like, wow. It's almost like, and there's a part of me goes, so you'll give them a chance, but not me. There's a little part of me going, okay, wow. But at the same
Mhm.
time, that's the how do I put this? That's what you're dealing with. And the way I realize is that honestly, in this game, with the way things are, um, if you don't even have to be necessarily, you have to be, I would hope you're good at your service,
Yes.
just giving good service goes a long way,
Right. Right.
right?
Exactly. Going the
Right.
extra mile is even more, appreciated these days when, nobody wants to take a step, never mind a mile.
Oh, exactly. No, it's totally right. That's what it is. It like it's, I realize it's like I got some of this is just me, guys, suck some shit up too, and
Mhm.
I realize that. But I want to go. Does that make sense? I really just want to go.
Right, right, yes. Oh, yes.
I want to go, and I want to go while I still have the energy to go.
Yes.
Right. I'm always, I think, going to have the travel energy, but doing what way I'm doing, I want to do it.
Mhm.
I know I'm not going to do that forever. There's a
No.
window. There's a window.
There's a window, yes.
There's a window for that. And then if by the time I get established, like wait too long for that window, all right, there'll be a part of me really annoyed with that. It's like, you know what? I
Mhm.
really wanted to do this, but now It's not that I physically can't do it, but there will come a point where I will just get tired quicker about doing shit like
Mhm.
that. That's what happens. Like as you get older, it's not that you can't do it; you just get tired. It's like I'm not sure it's worth this effort to do it this way. If that
Right.
makes sense, right? But I still got a lot of people to meet. Like I still got to meet you in person at some point next year.
Yes.
I'm hoping that's a thing. There's lots of people like JD. I want to next maybe actually go to actually with JD Estrada. I want to do a boxing, go to an actual like fight with him because I
Oh,
think that'd
that's
be fun.
awesome.
I would like that's an idea I had with him because it's just like me and him will just bullshit about sports, but both of us enjoy a good like fight night.
Mhm.
I think both of us would enjoy that. So something like that. I don't know. Just think it through. Even if it's just if it's an amateur fight, which is totally fine too. Like
Mhm.
sometimes those guys are really put
Better
the
than
work in.
the
And
better than the professionals if it's in some cases.
yeah, because they're
At
hungry.
least exactly. The fights can be better. It's not it doesn't seem as staged.
Well, the fight business. I mean, honestly, it's a business, right? So
Right.
sometimes everybody's afraid to lose. I think I don't know when that happened in boxing exactly. Everybody loses, like
Mhm.
everybody, right? So I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's not the end of the world. It's not. I mean, this is gonna sound almost like as cliche as it gets, but it's not how whether you win or lose. It's how you fight.
Right.
It's how you fight. It's how you go down swinging. I know
Exactly.
guys like in UFC, there's a guy by the name of Nate Diaz. Dude loses way more than he wins, but he's got such a big mouth. He just talks his way into get into other big fights. It's like, dude, you're a smart businessman. I have to go like this. I take my hat off, right? Because you gotta, because
Mhm.
it's not because he's the best fighter. It's because he knows, he knows what
Mhm.
people want to see. You know,
True.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been writing as prolifically as I'd like. Yeah.
That's but that's okay too sometimes. Like
Eh,
sometimes.
yeah, I think it was, the whole emotional crap after the trip, COVID. COVID kind of kills things.
I yeah. Okay, so like I said, a weird thing for me. Like I said, the first time I had it, right, I was over it in like 2 days. It has never
Right.
been a slowdown for me. Like it just doesn't hit me that way. Some people it wrecks. Some people, I think by and large at this point, for the most part, it doesn't. But yeah, it does. Like we're still in this weird post. I don't think it's as dangerous as it was by and large, but there again, people still have this reaction whenever they see the COVID thing, right? So
Right. I mean, I still have the cough after what? July, August, September, 2 almost 3 months now. It
yeah,
it
you,
now I'm
you
gonna
know,
cough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little shortness of breath inside
Mhm.
here. It's a little,
Yep.
and it hits you every once in a while.
Yep, exactly, exactly, and I was doing much better before last week, when we went to the wedding. We slept at my parents', and they live right outside a highway.
Mhm.
So, it's not like the New Hampshire woods or even Maine, so you have all the cars and, the brakes on the 18-wheelers. So we didn't get as much sleep as we should have or could
Ah,
have. So now I have to now catch up on sleep to get back to where I was before. So I'm hoping at this
yeah.
point I'm not going to have any other sleepless nights or the
Hope
well,
not.
yeah, I mean,
Hope not. I mean,
there was an awful
I
lot from July until last week.
so
Yeah.
you're back to regular sleep now.
Yes. Yes. My mom, I don't know if I mentioned it. My mom had her kidney removed because
Hmm,
they found
no.
cancer.
Ah,
So,
I'm sorry to hear
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that happened on August 30th. So,
Oh, lovely.
yes, yes, and my mom at first goes, "Well, can I wait till after Billy's wedding?" And we all, including Billy, said, "No, we need to get this taken care of now."
Yeah. I
But
yeah, but
she did make it to his wedding.
yeah, well, that's what. Okay, but how old's your? I realize your position. How old's your mom? I just think I should ask this question.
84.
Okay, so
And my dad is 85.
okay. So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I kind of understand it a little bit. I'm not defending. Like, yes, it needed to be taken care of, but I also
I
there's
know.
there's a certain point where in life where you just kind of get to a certain point. It's like I'm kind of like you're not bulletproof, but you don't give a shit anymore because it's just like, you know what? I'm still here. Will I be here tomorrow? Yes. Can I go? Like, I would rather go do the wedding than deal with this right now. Can I deal with this later? Because it doesn't. I've lived 84 years on this planet.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It just does not. It does not register the same.
She told my dad that, you know, if something happens to her and she doesn't make it out of the surgery, he used to go to buy the car he wants to buy.
Yeah, like because
my dad's
because
like,
that's
no,
like because
do I
again,
root for her to get better?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because again, she's at that point in her life. She's at that point in her life where it's just like it doesn't matter anymore. And I'm not saying that and like you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you're not scared of anything anymore. Like I'm almost there now, and I'm 42. Right.
Yeah, after, I mean, we had a little scare with her potassium levels. And she was fine up until she got that call, and then you could see the fear coming into her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it's going to be okay, Mom. You know, I'm the calm one. I'm the calm one in a storm. It's after the storm that I freak out.
Well, yeah, because it's over. It's over. So now all this you've held on the inside, it's like I gotta let it out. Because no,
it's like I did not cry at my son's wedding, but the next day, as we were driving to my daughter's house, and I was reading the card he wrote me out loud to my husband, tears were going down my face.
Well, yeah.
My husband, I said, I can cry today. I don't have fake eyelashes left.
And your husband's just like, yep.
It's like, okay.
What's he gonna tell you? Don't cry. I mean, right?
He got choked up from the words too, so but he wasn't sobbing like his wife.
Well, no, because if he's driving behind the wheel, that's also a bad thing. If I start breaking in the waterworks, at least I gotta park the car. At least I gotta park the car somewhere. Because I need to get this out of my system because that's just like you come to a certain point in again, you just come to a certain point in the journey. You're just like, I'm gonna do it how I'm gonna do it. And like I said, you just handle things like, in the moment. I can hold this off till later. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
You just need that valve at some point. You just need that valve at some point to let it out. Because again, it's not healthy to keep it inside you forever. But you're like, I can have my moment of losing fucking control later. I'll be the brave, like I'll be the chill one. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. Like you don't need you don't always need to react to everything right in the moment. Sometimes you just can. I mean, sometimes you need to react.
I was happy and I was, and I got choked up, but I didn't cry, because my son chose a beautiful song to dance with me. And he's like, "You're going to cry. You get a little choked up." I said, "A little, but I'll be fine. I'm so proud of you." So it was amazing. So, seeing him so happy and all of that. So,
well, no, that's what you want, right? Like that's you raised. How old is he?
He's 23. He is a young, and his wife is 23.
So they're the same age. They've been probably friends for a long time, and he found some. And honestly, to some degree, in my end, to a little bit of my end, hey, he found someone that made him that happy. Like that in itself is a feat in this world.
Yes.
And you know what? I mean, I hope it works out. And that's it. Like, that's all you can know. Like, he's ready to take on the world. And that's basically what that decision is.
Mhm.
And you're happy for him because
Oh, yes.
you watched him grow up. Now you get to see him do this. You're going to see him do everything you guys did way back when with his own
Mhm.
kids.
Yep,
And you're going to laugh.
exactly.
And you're going to laugh a little bit at some of the things because you did the same. And then sometimes you're going to be like, holy shit, we did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, he is not, we did not curse him the way we cursed our daughter. We cursed our daughter to have one just like herself.
Yes.
And she's got 2 like herself.
So she's like,
so it's like,
it's okay. It's the curse. Like
yes,
every
yep.
parent kind of wishes that on their kids. Like, you know what? You deserve one just like you.
Yes, yes.
And you usually get it a little bit. Like, you just get it, and you're like, oh my god. And sometimes, like, and again, speaking from the kid, when I realized like where I'm like my parents, when you have those eureka moments, when you understand that you just did the exact same thing your parents did. Now you understand why you did it.
Mhm.
Right? Sometimes,
Oh, yes.
sometimes you're still an idiot. Like,
Yes.
sometimes you still think I'm a moron thinking like this.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
right? But that's the thing. Like it shows that at the end of the day, like we all like, it doesn't matter where we are in the human story. Like
Right.
we are part of it. We're all part of it. And this is one of the most beautiful things of life, actually.
Yes, and being a grandparent is even more fun because you get to love them and send them home. You get to sugar them
Exactly.
up and send them home.
That's the best part. You see, you had to be the tyrant sometimes with your kids. You had to, because they needed that. When you're a
Yes.
grandparent, well, you don't.
You,
Right,
well,
right.
yeah,
When
you have to have rules. Either way, you have to have
yeah,
rules, but you can be a little bit more lenient and relaxed as a grandparent than you were as a parent. Because as a
yeah,
parent,
because you're not you don't have to be the responsible one all the time. Now,
Mhm.
like with your grandkids, you can do the stuff you maybe wanted to do with your kids,
Well,
right? That
yeah.
like, honestly, like I don't think, like, I honestly think, like, this is something I just kind of had from an outside looking in thing. I don't think any parent wants to really be a bad guy with their kids, but
Mhm.
sometimes you gotta.
Oh, yeah.
Grandparents, grandparents, I mean, it can still be the bad guy sometimes,
Mhm.
but it's far, far less often, right?
Right,
Because
right.
you're not, this isn't, you're no longer, you're not the one there. Again, barring extenuating circumstances, but you're not the one day in and day out dealing with the kid,
Right, right. We come in,
right?
we,
Right?
give smiles and kisses and sit down and, cuddle on the couch and watch Frozen 1,000 times. Sorry.
Exactly,
That's just my life
exactly.
the past week,
There's nothing
the
wrong.
past
Listen,
couple of
there's nothing
times
wrong.
down in Connecticut. Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Oh,
listen. If watching Frozen makes the kid happy, why not? Right? Have a good time.
mhm.
It's not just about, it's not about what you do so much. It's who you do it with, right? And
Right.
that's the thing. And
Mhm.
as a grandparent, like, again, it's one of those things. Like, sometimes I'm sure, and sometimes at least, you probably wanted to, I'm not saying you treated your kids badly, but I'm saying, like, you wanted to be nicer than you had to be sometimes. But the grandkid,
Mhm.
you can be that nice, the nice, like what you've
Mhm.
always wanted to be. And your kids are probably looking, it's like, why weren't you like this with me? It's like, because I couldn't, but I can here. And you'll get your
Right.
turn. You'll get your turn
Yes.
when they have kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm looking forward to more
How
grandkids
oh yeah,
from my son
you'll have a
at some
ton.
point. At some point. I have 2 on my daughter's side. That's all she'll have. Um, she
Yeah, that's fine.
she can't have more. Well, she
Oh,
can't have more biological children because it puts her life in
a
danger.
risk.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. Yes. So
okay.
but she's
So
got a boy and a girl, so we've got both.
Yeah, so you get to spoil them rotten, and then you get to
Yes.
send them home, and she's like little tears in her eyes, going, "Mom, why did you do this to me?" It's like, "'Cause I
Why
love
did
you."
you give them a box of chocolates before they got home?
Because I can.
No. I won't do that to her, but I will give
Yeah,
them
you will.
chocolate.
Well, no, yeah, you will. You just special occasions like Christmas, like you're like, yeah, whatever, right?
Exactly.
But
Yes.
but that's the thing. It's not gonna be all the time, but I mean, when you can, you can. Like but that's the way it's supposed to be. If I do have kids someday, I mean, I expect my dad's going to. If my dad will spoil them both, my kids, right? He just will.
Mhm.
And both my grandparents are still alive. They'll do the same thing. They'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy this, right? Right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the way it's gonna
Yeah.
be. I'll have to be the bad guy sometimes, and I'm okay with that, right? That's just
Mhm.
you need to, or they take over the house,
Right.
and you don't want them to do that
Exactly.
at 5 years
No.
old,
No.
right? You
No.
want them to do
I mean,
you want them.
we've had train sets from wall to wall in here for my grandsons before, and it's about, uh, it's actually a pretty big room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's cool. Like when
Yes.
I was a kid, I used to imagine highways with playing cars. I used to use playing cars as like little lights for the
Mhm.
highways and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I built some of this elaborate stuff, right? So I mean, it's the imagination's a powerful thing, and you've got the trains. So, I mean, you're gonna make this like the coolest train like road ever, right?
Mm. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and that's what he
Well,
did, and
my my desk is no longer up here. That's why I'm
yeah.
not sitting at my desk. It's downstairs and the lighting down there sucks.
So is that why you're not writing so much?
No, no, I write in the chairs, either this
Okay.
one or the one in the other room. It's a big overstuffed recliner. So I have my lap
Okay.
desk, have this, and that's where I write. The desk is only for my day job, and I had been using it for spilling ink and these things because, the wood or the rock fireplace is a nice backdrop. But sorry, guys, you got this, and it's moving because I'm rocking.
That's okay. That's okay.
The
I
grandma's rocking.
I gotta go back on spilling ink at some point too. Like
Yes, you
that
do.
to do. I
Yes.
need to come back at some point. I hear is Jay back now regularly?
No, he just came on once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Tuesday, so I'm thinking of Katie on Friday because her daughter's getting married on Friday.
Ah.
And we both sort of had the same apprehension about
Yes.
certain family members. So so
Yes.
mine went well, and I'm wishing her the same thing on her daughter's wedding. So
Yeah. No. I mean, and congrats to Katie and Katie Solitis. Congrats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say
Yes.
that live on the air here. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, so she's gonna be doing it. So that's why you guys did the show last weekend. No, I gotta come back. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to do some cool stuff between now and the end of the year in Calgary. Though
Mhm.
it's going to be bloody cold, so it's going to be a very different like environment. Seeing me all
It's a
suited up
little
and
chilly.
a little chilly, yeah, a little
Little
chilly,
chilly.
yeah.
It's
But
it's a little bit colder there than it is here, but not significantly.
okay, so let's illustrate the difference. Okay, this is the thing.
Well, if I'm on the top of Mount Washington, it's negative, negative, negative.
But I see, that
I'm
that's
not.
yeah, yeah. But okay, so let's analyze. So
Yes.
here's the difference. So here, so it at there are points in the year it is the coldest place on earth.
Really?
It's not even. Oh yeah, minus. We have had last year during the winter. There was 2 weeks. It was minus 50 degrees.
Just freeze your balls off.
Yes.
Basically, that's the freeze your
Yeah,
balls off weather.
that's how cold it can get in Calgary, right?
Okay.
That's how cold it can get. Now, it doesn't normally go. If it goes that cold, it goes that cold for usually 2 weeks, and that's it.
Okay.
Right. That's the cold. On average, we go between -10 to -30 on average,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So this is how weird this is up here. -10 feels warm during the winter time.
Yes,
It feels warm.
I'm
It feel
sure.
and it's hard to explain to people. It's like, no, it like I will show up, I will be outside in a toque and like a long shirt, and people will look at me and go, it's like, no, I'm a Calgarian. This is
Yes.
what it's like in Calgary there, right? Now, -50, nobody and their mother wants to go out and deal with that
No,
weather.
because
Like
your face
nobody.
freezes on impact. Yeah.
Well, not only that, the strain on the body even to go outside for a few minutes is incredible. Like
Yeah.
it's brutal. Like it's
Mhm.
really, really brutal. I used to do it more regularly when I worked at Purelator back in the day because I would go in the trucks sometimes even during those times of the year,
Right.
and I would feel it, right? I would just
Yeah.
right. So they would give you a little bit more of a break during those days in terms of like if you need to get out but again, there's and you can insulate yourself to some degree. There's some tricks to insulate yourself, but when
Yeah.
you're dealing with an open trailer, open field, like there's only so
Yeah.
warm you can go, and that's it. Like they don't have they do have some they used to be back in the days of the air, they used to have snowsuits that were super
Yeah.
warm, and those things are amazing, but they didn't have a ton of those. So if you got
Yeah.
one, awesome, but more often than not you just had to deal with the reality of that.
Right.
But but yeah, so that's like when it's cold here, it's really cold.
Mhm.
When it's not, right? But the thing about you guys is you're wetter than we are. So we have a dry cold,
Yeah.
you have a wet
Yep.
cold.
Yep.
So you can add some, not depending on how cold you get, up to 10 degrees, like down less, because again, that
Yeah.
wetness does add. Like Vancouver, even though
Oh, yeah.
Vancouver doesn't get, like, it gets snow maybe once the whole winter,
Really?
right? That
Okay.
-8, yeah, it gets like once, like for like a week, it's winter there.
Mhm.
Like it's a week and then that's it.
Mhm.
But during that week, like it's like that -8 feels more like -15 because of how wet, right? Cold and
Mhm.
wet sucks. Like it just does.
And
So,
wet snow is heavy to move.
yes, it
Oh, yeah.
is. It
It's
is
very heavy to
absolutely.
move, and it's very and it's well, I mean, last year, we had 2 days of sub-zero, I mean, way down, where Mount Washington had record-breaking -100, I think it was, for a couple
Yeah,
days, along with the high winds. Um, but outside of that, the entire winter, like, the waterways didn't freeze over because it would snow, get warm, snow, get warm, so snowmobiling sucked. So so I'm
well, you
looking
couldn't do it.
forward, I'm looking for well, you go into the bogs and it's just no.
You're stuck. You're
Um,
stuck. Yeah.
well, we went through them, except when he guns it and, like, hits a wall and Jane goes flying into the wall.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well,
but yeah, I'm looking forward to a prolonged cold, I guess, this year so that we can go do that. We had my husband has a season pass to the local ski place, which opened up this past year again, which is like 5 minutes down the road, which is like awesome. He can ski and I can write while he skis. That is the
well,
plan because if I ski, I will break.
yeah. So I'm an hour away from a good ski place here in Banff. Like that's where the
Yep.
good ski place is. So
Yep.
I might, like I said, I want to take a road trip sometime before the winter really hits here.
Mhm.
I'm going to try to sneak into a place called Kelowna, BC. I'm going to try to
Mhm.
sneak in, see some people I haven't seen in a while and bail, but see if I can get a couple interviews while I'm up there too, because
Mhm.
it's Kelowna. Why not, right? But I
Mhm.
mean, that's the again some test runs. I mean, I got San Diego content still.
Mhm.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie. If I could live in San Diego, I would. I literally would. It's an
It's
amazing
very
city.
expensive though. Yeah.
That's the
Did
only downside to it.
was John Mayberry there? You know?
Uh,
I
I
don't
do
remember
not
if he
know.
was at the con. He probably was, but yeah.
I didn't see him.
He lives in San Diego. He moved there from Pittsburgh. Uh, I don't know if it was Philadelphia side or Pittsburgh side of Pennsylvania. So
Yeah,
he
and
moved
I
there
gotta
like
go,
10 years ago.
and I gotta go to and I gotta go to Pennsylvania next year too. I have a horror writer based in Pittsburgh. Actually, Pittsburgh. There's two people I gotta meet up when I'm up
Yeah.
there. One's got one of my comic books, right? I actually
Mhm.
still like have it on reserves. When I come meet him in person, I'll go pick it up.
Mhm.
And then the other one, there's like it's a there's like one of the things I want to do is like there's a place for ice cream under
Mhm.
some train tracks in Pittsburgh. That's a cool place to do an interview. So
Right.
I'm gonna do that. And it like I said, I have this list of places I want to go. But no, San Diego was super fun. The only downside is how expensive it is. That's the only
Mhm.
downside to it.
Yes.
There's
I've
every
I've been to San Diego multiple times because one of the software companies that we work with when I was at Travelers, right? Travelers? Yeah. Um, um, is out there. And I used to go out every year for their conference and then I had to be there like the week before Christmas one year to do software stuff. So I liked it. How
oh yeah,
inundated with refugees is it?
it wasn't bad. Like
Okay. Mhm.
honestly, at least while I was there, like I was at Pacific Beach. That was
Mhm.
where I stayed. So I would go through the city, and it was not like honestly, it's almost like it's in its own isolated pocket of the world. That's the thing about San Diego.
Mhm.
Like I said, the price is the worst thing about it. The weather's moderate.
Mhm.
It's great surfing weather. There are people there. I'm not going to say there aren't people there that weren't homeless or struggling, but it was significantly less than even what I see up here.
Okay.
Right? It's
Yeah.
significantly less. Like here, like okay, I'm in one of the few neighborhoods in Calgary where there isn't a homeless situation somewhere in it. Like
Okay.
everywhere I go in the city now, you see people on the street like
Mhm.
that. Like it is a much different environment now
Mhm.
than it was when I came in. Like it's closer to Vancouver. And
Yeah.
Vancouver, if you ever been to Vancouver,
Yes.
you know how many people are on the street in that city. And Calgary has taken a definite step closer to that.
Yes.
Right.
And after the experience my husband and his mother-in-law had in Vancouver at the hospital, I don't think I want to know any more about Vancouver.
Vancouver is still a pretty place to visit from the outside.
Yes, it is.
But
It's
living,
absolutely you don't wanna get sick in Vancouver, though.
no, you
At
don't.
least not from a cruise ship.
No, you also there. Vancouver is a bit. How do I put this? Weird. That's
Mhm,
actually even for Canadian cities, it has a bit of a weird vibe to it.
mhm,
Living there was a an experience for me.
mhm,
This is like no again, maybe this is when I started noticing it's like no one really wants to hang out. This is even before the pandemic, right? It's just very
mhm.
or the people that wanted to hang out. What I found was people that weren't originally from Vancouver were super
Mhm,
fun to be around. The people that had lived their whole lives there,
mhm,
oh, oh, it's like, what
mhm.
the hell? Where well, like,
Mm.
is it the water?
I don't
Like, I
know.
don't know,
I mean,
right? And that's and
yeah, we were there in 2018, before our cruise. We went in 2 days earlier and had a blast.
mhm,
So, and that was before the pandemic, before everything. And then this last time we didn't stay in Vancouver at all outside of I went right to the airport. My husband
yeah,
and the sick ones went to the ER.
lovely,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
So,
lovely. No,
yes.
like that. That's what I will say. Like that. That's the thing about Vancouver, right? And would I live there again? No.
Mhm.
I wouldn't like a not unless I'd have to be making a stupid pile of money to do it. Even
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it'd have to be stupid, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
because
I'd rather be in Toronto or, um, what's the one north of us? Montreal.
Montreal,
Thank you.
Montreal. I can't speak for Montreal because I haven't been.
Yeah,
Toronto, same thing. I like visiting
okay.
it. I don't like living there. Like
Yeah.
it has, yeah. Hi, Anita.
Hi,
Makes me complain. No worries.
Anita.
We're talking about places to travel and the places we go. And
Mhm.
no, it's one of those situations. Like again, you just realize this in life that um you just realize that there are places you fit better than others. Like I said, for me,
Mhm.
I don't I don't despise Calgary. I'm in the same boat. I just kind of feel like for me, I've done it. I've done what I'm supposed to do here. And like I said, when people didn't want to really hang out, it's just like, well, no one's gonna hang out, and I'm just working here. I
Mhm.
can like uh, I'm also serious about getting a job in Hawaii. If I mean, I could be poor there too, and
Right.
have a good time, right?
Exactly.
Right.
That's
I
that's
mean, that's
that's
that. I
that's
mean,
that's next on our bucket list is Hawaii, but that won't be this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. Montreal traffic is nuts. So is Toronto. So is Vancouver, and they're all for different reasons. Actually, they're all for the
Mhm.
same reason, but it impacts in different ways.
Yeah.
Toronto and Vancouver have some of the worst roads I've ever been. Like worst, like design. Like Toronto is literally you live and die on the 401. That's just the way it is.
Okay.
Right. So if you there's no the one thing I will say about the United States is the United States understands infrastructure well. Like
Yep.
go to Detroit. Like yeah, say what you will about the quality of the road sometimes, right?
Yeah.
You, everything is connected. You can go somewhere.
Yes.
It's really hard to get lost. It's really
Yeah.
hard. Like you have to work very hard to get lost in Detroit, right? You have to work very hard.
Mhm.
It can be done. I'm not saying there are people I know
Yes.
that could probably
Bo
get lost.
In Boston, you can get yeah, in Boston, you can get to nowhere because there's so many one-way streets, and you need
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
over there, but you can't get there from here.
Well, but that's Toronto. That's
Okay.
Toronto, and that's Vancouver to a lesser extent
Okay.
as well. Actually, Vancouver's worse for that.
Yeah.
Literally, the worst drivers I've ever seen is Vancouver. Right,
Okay.
and that's saying a lot. In the United States, the closest equivalent I've had to that is Phoenix.
Really?
Phoenix. They
You've
don't.
never have you driven in Boston?
I've not known Boston. I've not been
No,
to. I can only go.
okay.
I can only. Again. I
Yeah,
haven't been
yeah.
to everywhere. I haven't been everywhere, but I
I'm like,
have.
then you have not seen horrible drivers.
I don't. No. That's not true. I've been to
Or
Toronto. I've been to
yes.
Toronto. I've been to LA. I've been to
Yeah.
Detroit. I've been to Chicago. I have a decent like paladin range,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like yeah, but Nova Scotia doesn't have like the same like yeah. You either hit the ocean or the New Brunswick border. Like yeah, it's that's the thing, right? Nova Scotia is an island, kind of like it's a kind of a spot, a port unto itself,
Mhm.
right? But the thing is, Toronto and Vancouver are both like poorly designed. If you miss your exit in
Mhm.
Toronto, you're driving like 3-4 miles before you
Yeah.
can turn around. At least 3-4 miles, right? Right?
Yeah, that's kinda like up here,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Once
yeah,
once we once you get past Concord and past the lakes, yeah, a little bit past the lakes region, it's like miles between
yeah.
exits.
Yeah, but if you're in the country in the middle of like a quieter area, okay, I can expect that a little bit. If
Mhm.
you're in a major
City?
city,
Yeah, right, yeah.
right? If you're in a major city, you should not be. This should not be your design, but this
Right,
is your design,
right.
right? And this is your like. Okay, again, Detroit, and maybe Detroit, maybe the model of this. Every mile there's an exit
Yep,
on average.
yep.
On average, so if you screw up, the
It's
worst and
it's
honest,
not that far out of your way.
and not only that, most of the time, depending unless it's like a major highway, there's a cul-de-sac where you took the wrong turn, so you can immediately go back to the other way and go
Yep,
back down and find like it's not like it's designed for a certain degree. The redundancy is incredible, Now, if there's a
It's designed for stupid drivers.
yes,
Sorry.
you have to work,
Sorry, traffic
but
people.
again, but here's the thing: like
Mhm.
the whoever engineered that was a genius. It's you
Yep.
gotta work again. I'm not saying it can't be done, but you have to work very hard to get lost in Detroit, right?
Mhm.
You have to work, but you work.
Yep.
You actually have to make an effort to be dumb. Now, there are people that do it,
Mhm.
but you got like the effort is incredible. Toronto, there are parts of it that are just like no. Vancouver's got like these one ways that become highways, that become one ways, and you're looking at this. And now Vancouver, in all fairness, is designed to be transit.
Mhm.
Like the train, like it's very transit friendly.
Yes.
It's very transit designed. So part of this is on purpose. Part of it, still major city, shouldn't be
Mhm.
this much of a pain in the ass to get somewhere,
Yes.
right? I mean, LA has also got a very similar shitty design to Toronto in this one sense, is that LA is completely linked by their big highways. So if
Mhm.
you fuck up there, you're like you like you literally can go to different worlds in LA. It's like that's
Yes.
the thing about it. It's just like I took a wrong turn. I know I did. I don't know how to go back though.
Right.
Right? I
Right.
don't know how to go back because that's LA. Right? So I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not saying every place is as well thought out, but yeah, Toronto, like Vancouver was like very special, and Phoenix has that honor for one very simple reason.
Mhm.
I would watch drivers not look left. They just don't look left. And I don't
Mhm.
there is so and I still remember like there's an accident I've seen. There's an accident I've seen literally. I was walking and I got to watch two cars turn into each other because neither looked left right in the middle of the parking. They
Mhm.
actually hit each other. It was again, they're turning left, so it's not full speed, but
Mhm.
even so, hilarious because
Mhm.
neither of them looked. It was just like
Mhm.
this is something I've only seen here. I didn't think that
Yeah.
was
Why
possible.
wouldn't you look left?
I don't know why they don't, but they didn't, right?
Yeah.
So I like that's the thing, right? So
I
I
mean,
looked at that.
we saw an idiot turn left onto a one-way street that was only, going this way, so right into traffic. And we're like behind him and we're like sitting there going, "What are you doing?"
Well, he'll learn real quick.
Yeah. But at least,
Yeah.
I mean, it was in York, Maine, but still it was like, dude, can't you see the signs that said one way going this way? Do not turn.
Apparently not.
Turn do
Apparently
not
not.
turn.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, apparently not. Right?
It's
So
like
I mean,
roundabout.
that's
We've gotten behind people in roundabouts, which here you go right to go around the bout. We got behind people who had their left-hand blinker on and was trying to go left in a roundabout. It's like, dude, are you drinking?
and more importantly, what are you drinking so I can avoid this?
Exactly,
Right?
because I'd
Right? Yeah.
like some. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
oh
it's but I mean that's just it, like everywhere I mean don't get me wrong, there are bad drivers everywhere, but like I said, some
yes.
places they make an impression on you about how bad they are. They just do,
Hmm.
right? And so now I haven't done Boston, I haven't done New York City. I'm sure I will. I'm sure, especially I'm dreading
New
both.
York City
But for,
is New York City is a grid. New York City is
yeah,
probably I've never driven. I've walked. And I've been in
it
cabs and I've
feels
been
like
in the subways, but it's very much a grid.
Yeah, no, I the impression I got of New York was it's very again it's another city. It's very transit friendly. Like
Yep.
it's designed for transit. It's not really
Yes.
designed for driving through.
Yeah.
So there
I mean,
might
it's
be
it's
like I
scary
might.
because cab drivers are crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, they have to be.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, like it's a zoo there, right?
Yes.
And I say that in like the nicest way possible, but
Hmm.
it's a zoo. When you have that many people there, you've got to
Yes.
kind of do what you got to do to stand out, right? So
Well, 90% of the people take the subway.
yeah,
They don't have cars because it's expensive as hell to have a car in New York City. My
absolutely.
cousin lives in the city and he doesn't have a car. So when he goes outside of the city, they, rent a car and
Hmm.
that's it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Yeah.
because it's a transit grid, and New York's
Yeah.
expensive as fuck. I like LA is like in some ways is a worse New York because it's
Mhm.
also expensive as fuck, and you can't like the transit's not good enough.
Mhm. No, New
So
York,
you just
I mean, you can go anywhere. You can go to the boroughs, you can go to Connecticut, you can go to New Jersey,
yep.
although I don't know why you would want to.
Well,
You know,
people have their reasons.
I'm sorry.
Look, look.
Mm,
I feel that way about certain cities myself.
mhm,
Like there are cities, I'm like, why would you go here? But
mhm,
we all like again, that's life experiences for
yeah,
you, right? We all gotta kind of make our decisions just based on
mhm,
what we do and how we do it and who we are. Like
yes,
I'm wandering to figure out kind of where I fit next because I'm almost I'm probably gonna end up in a small town in the middle of nowhere is probably where I'm gonna end up
mhm,
because at this point I'm just like, I don't need a city anymore.
right,
I'm kind of in that point in my life where it's just like, why would I go to a city if unless I'm getting paid a lot of money to come here because it doesn't provide the same advantages it once did.
right, exactly, I mean, we used to go to the city all the time when we were in Connecticut, for work and for
Mhm.
entertainment. Now it's like, no, I kind of like the I mean, where we are in Plymouth, it's a college town. So
Mhm.
this time of year is full, and there's some artsy stuff downtown. We have a theater downtown that does,
Mhm.
theater, it does, music. It's a music venue and it's just a nice little town. Where we are in the town, you would never know that those things are out there, but everything is 5 minutes from where we are. So
Yeah.
it's it's
So I
nice,
and
you
and
know?
and it, and, it, and it's big enough. It's not big. It's big enough, and that's all you want, and that's all you really need. So if I'm going to the city, it has to be for an insanely stupid pile of money,
Mhm.
or there's
Yes,
something I really want to do there,
yes,
and
exactly.
that's it. And if neither of those are there, why are you making me come here? Like that's
Right,
literally the question, right?
right, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just like,
now,
we don't have to go into the office because we're, well, 3.5 hours from the office, but
but again, but I mean, you're at the tail end of your day job
right.
careers, but you're also, but I mean, the reality is you need to go to an office maybe at most once a month, really, right?
Mm,
Right at most,
at
and
most, yeah.
right. So and just
They're making people go in 3 days a week now
yeah.
that are within, I think it's 75 miles of the place.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So
yeah.
so again, because there's a certain point they can't. But you're 3.5 hours away, so you're out of that radius. So you're like,
Yes,
nope,
yes.
nope,
I'm full-time remote, people.
yes. Because again, but that's just it. Like, then that's kind of what I'm shooting for too. Is just like, what, I'm just looking for things to do because if I'm
Mhm,
remote, I can set my own schedule, and
mhm.
really no one cares as long as the work's done.
Right,
So
right,
right,
exactly.
and that's it, and that's where I'm at in my life. And so it's like, well, and most of my skills, vast majority of them, I like person to person interactions, but I don't need to be in the city for those person to person interactions. Why am I
Mhm.
here? Right. And that's the thing.
Yes.
I think I can definitely see an exodus from cities in the next couple of years, especially if things keep inflating the way they're inflating.
Oh,
No one's
yeah.
gonna no one's gonna
No
want to
one's
be
gonna
here.
Right. No one's gonna be able to afford it either, so
Yeah, so everybody's just gonna bail. Like
right.
they're just gonna go find like these quiet little nooks and crannies, and that would be it. Like no one's gonna want it. And I mean, these houses may be worth millions of dollars, but if no one's living in them, that they're worth actually zero.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
If no one lives there, it's zero. Doesn't matter what
Right,
anyone tells you. It's like that's the way it is. And the people who can't leave,
yeah.
people who are stuck there, are going to find some very creative ways to handle these $1 million homes / $0 homes. So
Right.
we'll see what's done in the future. That's a little science fiction dystopia in the not too distant future, but
Yes.
that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Let's get back to you for a sec here.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you're not writing as much as you
Well,
want to.
this came out in, oh,
I saw that.
it's backwards. In
No,
September.
it's not. It's perfectly on.
It's a small. This one's a small book. The subsequent to it, which is Modern Goddess, is twice as long. It's yeah, at least twice as long. And then this is coming out on Monday. I'm like, what day is it? Monday. So less than a week. And this one is thicker. This one's very, much thicker.
That one you feel a little bit happier with.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the Ancient Goddess was a short story. Modern Goddess was supposed to be a short story. No. But I learned a lot of things on my Alaska trip that I used in it. So I can write off a little bit of the Alaska trip.
Nice. Yay, small businesses.
Yes, exactly.
So then I should ask them this: are you writing? Is it less to your standards? Because you're still putting out books.
Yeah, I'm still putting out books. As I said, I don't know if we talked at the end of last year where I said this year is going to be the year that I don't schedule anything. And I will have 4 books, actually 5, I think, this year.
So
if you count what I did back in, the beginning of the year, I'm like, oh yeah, I had stuff out then. 5 or 6 books, yeah.
Things add up, right? Things do add up. So you have a tendency to you have to go with those tendencies, right?
Yeah, and I didn't really schedule anything with my editor until August. So I had August, I have an October for the one there. I had Ancient Goddess in August as well. So August, October, and I have a November for a Christmas short story that, I have not been in the mood to really write. However, with everything finally settling down, and all the shit out of the house, and it's our house now. And I can start going.
Yes. So, do you want to talk about that at all, or do you just want to just move past that?
Move past it. I mean,
okay.
The only advice.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only advice I would give is if you're living with parents or in-laws, hopefully it's a temporary situation. If it's not, yeah, be careful.
Well, I'll mention my situation, so won't talk yours. I love my dad to death, but we're different people now. Like, I'm an adult, he's an adult, and we've been apart now for a long time. So now that doesn't mean like dad's an awesome parent, like he really, really is. But I'm not a kid anymore, right? And then it kind of like so there's a lot more room to clash now than there ever was in the past. Just because I have my own opinions, right? And he has his own opinions, and that's just the way it is. It's not like and that's the thing. Like they're like a little distance is healthy for us, and that's like I don't think I could again. I'm not saying he wouldn't welcome me into the house if things went to complete shit, but I also knew like it would have to be a temporary deal.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah, the thing I was most afraid of in moving in here with this situation occurred. And I had made it known at the time to my husband. Yeah.
No, but again, it's part of the process. Like there's a point where we were all adults, and like I said, and it's something to keep in mind too with your kids. If there ever a situation where they'd have to come back in the house for whatever reason, or you'd have to go with them, right?
No.
Like what you realize,
there is no coming back. There is no coming back. It's a hard no. Yeah,
but But like I said, but like barring emergencies and circumstances, right? I mean, but that's just it.
Mhm.
That's life, right? It has that
Right.
tendency to you you become different people. You just do.
Right.
And once you realize that, like you realize like you can't live.
You can't
You just
you
can't.
can't live with narcissism or abuse.
Yeah. And yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes that shit can happen even if it's well intentioned. So,
Mhm.
right. So
Mhm.
that's where it gets really tricky.
Yeah.
And that's all we're gonna
Yeah.
say about that.
Yes, exactly,
Right?
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly, but yeah, so now, you know, I'm much more relaxed. I
Oh,
so I can walk out here in my PJs and not worry about it.
well, yo, no,
It's the little things, you know?
well, that's it. Like
Yeah.
that's life, right? You look like
Mhm.
it's not big stuff we want. Like
Right.
honestly, big stuff's nice, but the
Mhm.
truth of the matter is, like we all pursue this insane stuff, and we're all just given all these things we don't expect in this
Right.
life, right? But when you really break it right down, you know
Mhm.
what I really want is a place I feel very comfortable in. Maybe a significant other in my life, maybe a family somewhere. Like nothing. These aren't big things,
Right.
but those are the things that make life worth living, right? And vice
Exactly.
versa, right? Right. At this point in your life, you've done all that, so now you're like, well, I want some peace and quiet. I want to be able to do
Mhm.
whatever I want to do, and
Go
I don't want
where
to
I
have
wanna
to be worry
go.
about it. Yeah,
Yep.
like
When we want, where we want, how we want.
well,
Have
that's
parties.
that again. But that's the thing, right? Like that's what this is all about.
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, right? Like
Mhm.
life is like for the most part, like
It's short.
we're a lot
Mhm.
bigger. It's short, but
Yes.
also we are the advocates of how we want to live, how we live our
Right.
lives. So so if you don't make a decision about what that actually looks like, life will still happen regardless. So you got
Mhm.
if you want those little things, you got to work to make them happen. It's just the way it is,
Mhm.
you know. You
Absolutely.
know. So, but it sounds like you're gonna have a busy next year.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely, and we already have our next cruise lined up for our anniversary
Nice.
with our good friends. It's their anniversary, around the same time, so that'll be in the Caribbean.
Nice.
With nice drinks with little
You're going.
umbrellas.
It's all about the umbrella drinks. It's all
Yep.
about umbrella drinks. That's right. That's
Yep.
right. No,
Yep,
it's all good.
exactly. Exactly, so,
Nah,
and and
my goal is, like I said, be on the road,
mhm,
see how that goes, do as much of that crazy training as I possibly can,
mhm.
and who knows, maybe end. I joked that I would end up in Hawaii. That would be funny. Like that would be
That would be really funny.
yeah, that would be funny. How'd you get here? I don't know. Are you leaving? I don't know.
I don't think
Right.
so. Are
Well,
you kidding?
so this is what some people tell you. The fact that you're surrounded by ocean all the time, there is a little bit of like going a little stir crazy with that,
Really?
right? So yeah, I don't know I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but the fact that you're surrounded by water all the time
Okay.
does get it does get to some people sometimes. So I
Hmm.
don't know. Like I don't know if but if I did end up there, like I also know this too. Of like I'd be making copies of my keys to for a few people because it'd be like, yeah, I'm in Hawaii. You're like, yes, I want to come. I'm like, but yes, I'll make like 4 or 5 keys. I'm like, these are the I really like you keys. If I don't like you, you don't get one. Or if I don't like you
If
that
you end
much.
up there and I don't get a key, I'm gonna come get one.
Tears in my eyes. She's gonna come I'm on that list. Damn it, I'm on that list.
Yes.
Yeah, but that like who knows, right? Like I don't know what next year is gonna hold for me. I know it's gonna be a wild, like much like life, it's just a wild ride. And I'll be more established with what I've
Mhm.
done creatively, and we'll see where it goes from there. Like we'll just see where it goes, and uh, keep riding this train until I get to where I want to go. The one thing is, I barring astronomical success,
Yeah.
which could happen. I
Yeah.
mean, it could happen. Um, I don't know if I ever will make as much money doing this as I thought I would, but I do think this. I'm still gonna have a shit ton of freedom
Mhm.
because I can go anywhere and be anything and work for who I want to work for. And you talk about those little things that matter, right? I don't have the patience anymore to deal with people who don't communicate well.
Yes.
We'll say that. I've lost the patience for it. And when you don't have it, you can't handle a day job regularly anymore. You just can't do
Mhm.
it because what ends up happening there is you end up throttling the person or they end
Mhm.
up throttling you.
Mhm.
So I don't want to get fired for that particular reason, but I'm also it's like, you just realize you're just not wired that way anymore.
Right. Right.
Right? You're just not. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So next year I only have one planned release. It's
Okay.
the it's the follow-up to this one.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a bet with you right now that you will find another one somewhere
Oh,
in
I'm
the
sure I
world.
will. I'll find like, 7. 7 more to add to the
Yeah.
pile, including hopefully getting off our butts and Katie and I writing the trilogy that we've been talking about for the last 2 years. But
I
she's been buried in work
I
to pay
yeah, I
to
know.
pay to pay the bills,
No, no,
basically.
no. I
Yeah.
no, me and Katie have had that chat, right?
Yep.
It's the big thing with her,
Yep.
and again, I get it. Like you got your priorities and you have to have them, and
Yep.
I totally understand that. I always say this again. This goes back to something I've said earlier. Like you got to pay bills, but you
Yep.
also only got so much time.
Right.
You only got so much time. So you
Yeah.
gotta you at a certain point in the journey, you gotta be like, okay, I'm not gonna be doing this shit forever, right?
Mhm.
And make that decision. I to me personally, to me personally, I miss her writing. Like
Mhm.
she released something last year, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, like her fiction, I do miss her fiction writing.
Yeah.
She's actually really good
My
at it,
husband is
and
actually hammering us both, hammering me and I, to get that done because he loved the trilogy we wrote. He absolutely
yeah,
loved it. And he's like, he couldn't tell who wrote what, which is, very
which is a
high
compliment.
praise for both of us. Um, so, I also have to get this last one out of the way because that's the only absolute that I have to do for next year because I've already,
Oh yeah.
committed. But
Well,
I can, if I start writing it and showing her, she'll jump in, I
oh,
think.
I know she will.
Yeah.
I no, I think she will, and I say this with a little love. She also, I think, she might need a little. I say this in this regard. She might need a little encouragement for this reason. It's been a while,
I know.
right?
Well,
It's been a while.
she's been ghostwriting. So she
Mhm.
has been ghostwriting, so it's not that she hasn't been
No, 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 no.
getting the creative things out. So,
No, no. That's not
yeah.
it. I don't think it like. Uh, her skill's there. I'm not like that.
Oh,
It's not a
yes.
question of skill. It's the
So it's the time management skills.
well that's part of it. I also just think there's also I also know this too. Like she's been through a lot
Oh, I
in the
know.
last few years
I know.
as the last few years as well. And my big thing with her is it's I want to see her do a fiction book because the one thing it would bring back to her, I think more than anything else, regardless of what the results were, like if she has any confidence issues at this point in the ball game, it would obliterate them.
Right.
Right? Because I think that's the thing. I think that first book, she'll be tentative, like with her name on it,
Mhm.
because it's been a while. But
Mhm.
I also think that once she's through that,
Yeah, the other 2 are gonna go like that.
No, no,
Mm.
not just yours. I
Yeah,
think
right.
hers. I think at that point, I think when she really goes again, and this is my thought on this, she's really going to go. It's not going to be like it's going to be full throttle.
Yes.
And I think also she's going to see a lot more success. She
Yeah.
deserves it. Honestly, she really does.
Yeah, I miss writing with
So,
her. It's co-writing with her was fabulous. I mean,
yeah.
we had such a good time. We were so much in sync. She didn't let me kill a puppy.
So, note to self, Katie's the
So,
adult between you. Okay,
I
gotcha.
mean, so, she I guess I'm a straight and narrow in that way, but, you know, I like to get into that groove with her again too, because it was a lot of fun
Yeah.
for me, and it was a lot of fun for her because we didn't
Switched
argue
you in a good way.
except for about the puppy. Yes, you got me snorting.
Ladies and gentlemen, so you know what you have to do. Like
Mhm.
seriously, when you guys do your next one, no puppies. Like it has to be actually
No,
like
no
inside.
puppies, no puppies were considered for death.
I did not kill the puppy, and then you can put like little asterisks. Katie wouldn't let me. Grumble, grumble, grumble. And then Katie can just respond. Well, there's no reason to.
Yes, yes.
Right. There's no reason to, right? So
Mhm.
that's how you do it. So yeah, no, I would love to see you guys do some more. I would love to see you both do some more. I have to pay a visit to you guys. It's been
Absolutely.
I have to pay a visit at some point soon. But outside of that, it sounds like you're looking forward to the time of your life, I guess, because you're going to be free in a very short
Yes,
period of time.
yes, yes. Freedom.
So
Freedom.
yes, freedom.
Oh, put paint on both sides of my face.
Yes,
Actually, it's blue paint on one side, right?
yes. No, yeah. Listen, if you like, that would be a hilarious video. You and just going freedom with your husband's like, wait, why are we in the middle of the field? We're going to run in that direction. He's gonna be like, really, really?
Yes.
I don't want to run in that direction. No, we're gonna run in that direction. Fine. Ah! And we're gonna scream too,
Yes.
and just to confuse everybody. Confuse absolutely everybody.
Maybe we'll go in on April 1st with half our faces painted like Braveheart.
Okay, seriously, like when you get to your last week, like I'm gonna put a terrible thought in your head now, so that maybe you'll
Yes.
see how you exercise it. Your last week, you're not gonna give a shit. They're not really gonna give a shit either because
Right.
they know you're out the door, right? If
Mhm.
you decided literally to just like dress up and like bells, just literally bells, they wouldn't they wouldn't care, right?
Right.
What are they gonna tell What are they gonna tell no, don't, or we're gonna tell you to HR? By the time HR does anything to you, you're already gone, right? It's
Right.
like they're gonna be like literally, if I was the HR department, they'd learn this shit. I would say, okay, Jane, just please, just for the love of God, for the last week, we'll let you charge the building and raid it. Just can you wait till the last day to do your hijinks? That's all we're
Yes.
asking. Right. Do your
Well
hijinks on
well, we're
the
gonna
last
be
day. We
down
don't care.
yeah, we're gonna be down in Connecticut for Easter. The day after Easter weekend is April 1st this coming
Oh,
year.
nice.
So we are actually physically gonna go in and like hand them our computers and smile and say, "Here," instead of having to package them up and mail them. But
That's right.
yep. So
Yeah.
so
No,
yeah. I mean,
my
yeah, we should do something really wacko.
well, I mean, you can. There's nothing. What are they gonna do?
Uh,
There's a point. Like when I was wrapping up my time at Purelator, right? When I was in Vancouver doing it, they hated me because there was nothing they could really do to me.
Right.
I was already like even before the pandemic, I was planning on getting out the door
Yeah.
anyway. So them even firing me wasn't going to be like there was a date in my head. There's legitimately a date in my head.
Mhm.
And once I crossed that date line, it's like, if they fired me tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. There's literally, and once I crossed that day, oh, they like I watched it's like I broke some of my lead hands, like they broke them because there's nothing they could do to me,
Huh.
right? And they were
Th
like, and they
this is
were,
this is staying with me.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's so it's like I'm keeping some shit. I don't give a fuck, right? So
Right.
no, and
I
that's
I have a I have an old one that I can that's broken that I can send back.
oh my god. Well, I'll let you know a little secret. So I worked for a company that I did the immigration show with. They're the
Yep.
ones that provided me with the camera. They ended the
Mhm.
contract the way they did, and I was like, "Well, this sucks," but they
Mhm.
didn't say anything about the camera, so I'm keeping it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yeah, I've
but
gotta
also,
get a new one, so
yeah, no, but also like it's funny because they went to a completely different system. I think they forgot, but at this
Hmm.
point, it's just like,
Mhm. Yep. Not happening.
yeah, it is. It's like shrug, right? Just shrug. It's like, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do, right? What are you gonna
Right.
do? So I'm going to wish you absolutely the greatest of luck next
Yes.
year. I hope you have the time of your life. Same with me. I'm going to figure this out. Like the next, like this is what the next month is going to be literally about. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
where do I go from here? Because
Mhm.
I'm looking for I'm just looking, what I'm looking for. I would love to have something like a little bit more stable, quote unquote, stable. But
Mhm.
what I really am going to be working on for the next month or two is seeing how many jobs I can get between now and the end of the year,
Mhm.
because that's going to be the real skill. Because if I can
Mhm.
get that fully nailed down, um, I'm not going to worry about it, even if I don't have a shit ton of like in there, because at that point it's like, no, I can get work. It's not the end of the world, and
Right.
that's the goal. Because if once I have that nailed down, then I can leave tomorrow. Like I could literally leave tomorrow at that point, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
I'll be good. And that's kind of where I'm gonna get to. So finding that groove.
Well, I wish you luck with that, and I hope you come on
Yeah.
to Spilling Ink soon. Just
Well,
ping us
we can.
and, this
Yeah,
weekend
sure.
we're not here
No, no,
'cause
no, 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 no. Yeah, I'll have to bug you guys. I'll have to bug you guys.
yeah.
Coming up. Outside of that, so you might as well plug your shit as we wrap this up.
Okay. October 2nd, The Witch Assassin. Woo! Everywhere. So, I will send you the picture of that and the links.
Yes.
Um, and then November, Modern Goddess is coming out. So that's the second of my Valkyrie, um, duo.
And this is her website, ladies and gentlemen. Come check it out at
Yes.
jtaylor.com. And that, as I say, is that. Now, tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure when yet. I have another guest on the stream. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I'm going to be streaming a little bit more than I intended to
Mhm.
post. Here's the other thing, too. I have put a contact form up on my website now.
Yeah.
I'm getting more contact for people to come on my show now than
Okay.
just having that. It's just like, can I please come on the show? I'm just like, I'm trying to wrap up this era of the show, but I am not going to be on Twitch anywhere near as much.
Well,
I'm
I
probably
like
going to
being
be,
1013. I
yes,
have
yeah, you are,
13 is my
yes,
lucky number.
yeah. There you go, 1013. No, because I'm going to be merging. The travel shows have already started coming up. I mentioned this earlier on. $5 a month, you can support the show. It's patreon.com/justjoshing podcast. If you want to do that, get those episodes early. The first one are going to be dropping. I've kind of figured out my formula for the show, so you can kind of see from episodes 8 on. I know what I'm doing. I solemnly swear I know what I'm doing. Plus, I do a story up there for every month as well. So if people want to support the show, they can. So tomorrow I have another musician showing up on the show. That'll be it for this week for streaming. The following week I'll be doing 2 streams as well. Like I said, it's going to be a lot lighter streaming schedule for the foreseeable future. So if you guys want to be coming on the show as a streamer, well, we'll see. And but I'll be trying to do as many more travel adventures as I possibly can between now and then. So, for everybody watching, everybody listening, Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay
Thank you.
inspired. Keep starting dark. Thank you, Jane, for coming on again. And have a good one, everybody.